Earthy Taurus friends, welcome to my channel, the Zodiac Love Tarot. I am Jennifer Winters, author of the ZodiacLoveCode.com series, and this is your Taurus 2020 Astrology Yearly Tarot Forecast. Yes, I did say all that in one sentence. So, if you don't know much about me, I'm going to make this video kind of short because I want you to be able to get your whole reading in without giving up on me. So if you didn't know much about me, you can go to my older videos in November and December where I did help all the Taurus that I know clean out their spiritual karma. So going into 2020, things would be looking very bright. So I'm excited to do this reading for 2020 to see how it's going to come out. And if you are ready to see this video, please already give a like and a subscribe and start off with a comment if you would please, and a share, something like that to keep this going. But let's just get down to the cards straight away, okay? All right, here we go. All right, so this is a Celestial Tarot Wheel of Life chart, and it goes from January all the way to December, and this is going to be for Taurus 2020 Astrology Yearly Tarot Forecast. Okay, so I'm just going to shake up the cards here, and I'm going to put the Taurus energy in there. And I really liked how my Tauruses responded to my other videos, and I really hope that you came back because I am still hoping to see a very successful year for you, Taurus. You also have a lot of planets that we are going to talk about, and a lot of houses we're going to talk about. Starting off in January with Mars and a lunar eclipse and some Saturn conjunct Pluto. There's a lot going on, So let's just get started, shall we? But before we do, I want to give you a candle here of romance and also one for peacefulness, because I want you to have a very good year filled with romance and peace, if nothing else. Okay, but I think there's going to be a lot to go along with that. Okay, so let's just do one more spin here and let's get started. Okay, so Taurus in January. I know you guys had a big year last year, so I'm hoping this one looks a lot more exciting and a lot more fun, because a lot of stuff kind of, as far as I know, changed for you. There was some losses, and now you're trying to get back up on your feet, and I think that's going to happen this year. And it starts off in January in your first house right here. We're going to have Mars in your 8th house and a lunar eclipse in your 3rd and Saturn conjunct Pluto in your 9th. So let's see what lessons for your first house that Mars and Saturn and Pluto in this lunar eclipse have for you, okay? So we're going to turn it over and we're going to find out. Okay, so you have, oh, that's awesome. This card right here, it's upside down, but that's okay. This is the Prince of Swords. Okay, so, and it's also a mutable air sign, and it has this Gemini energy in it, and also has Mercury energy in it. And so I remember we were talking about Taurus and how because of what happened in 2019, a lot of you felt like you had sort of lost your voice, or you're just people, you didn't, it's almost like a part of your confidence was missing. So when I say you lost your voice, it just means that you weren't sure of yourself. So it was hard to communicate with people. It was hard to talk to people. And maybe where in the past you had been, it had come a lot more easily to you, you sort of lost it. And so with this Prince of Swords being in reverse, we talk about also just, there was probably some bad news, and that bad news did come from 2019, and now we want this card upright for us. This is the lesson that Saturn is bringing you in January, that whatever happened in 2019, you really need to shed that and bring this young prince energy here. You see he's charging forward, he's got his shield now, he has his sword, so he's in full power now. He's got this new brand new energy, and this is going to help him find love, find success, be able to communicate better with people. And I firmly believe the reason this card was upside down is just letting me know that there was this bad thing that happened in 2019, and now it's time to really rush forward. And you have, you know, Saturn, who has taught you this lesson, and then now you have Mars also telling you to use that forward momentum just to go in and fight for what you think is, you know, yours and what you think is right, and get that voice back like we were talking about. And then also with Pluto being conjunct Saturn, it tells me that all of the things that didn't serve you are in the ashes now, and you're just being reborn. And so in the year of 2020, you were basically definitely reborn. And then also with the Saturn and Pluto being in your 9th house, that tells me that you're going to probably travel, you're going to see a lot of really exciting things. And that's really fun to basically just hear that. That's amazing. Okay, so and because this is the celestial tarot wheel, this has to do with your personality. So this card has to do with, you know, your personal identity. And I think from what I've already said, you can tell that, you know, finding your voice and charging forward and having this new clarity is all about going back to the person who you were before and being more confident. So it's going to help your personality be more confident. Okay, so now, awesome. In February, we talk about the 2nd house, and this is going to be your income, your money, your possessions, your earnings, and all of that good stuff. So let's see what the cards have for you, Taurus, in February. Okay, so we have here the Virgo card, which means, and it was upright for you, so that tells me as long as you stick with your routine, stick with your plan, analyze what you need, then the money's going to come, the possessions are going to come. And with this being like the Hermit card, it could mean just saving a lot of money, trying to save, not necessarily that you're going to go, you know, inward, because sometimes this means to, you know, look and reflect, but it's just like with this Virgo energy that you're staying on your routine, you're analyzing things, you're saving your money, you're just being very careful, which is something I think you need to do this year, Taurus. Very important. Excellent. Okay, so now March, let's see what's going to happen. This is your 3rd house of communication, and we've been talking about your voice a lot. So let's just see what the cards have for you in March. And also what's happening in March, you have this Saturn in Aquarius. And so let's just see what that means for you. Again, we have the Princess of Cups, and it's also upside down. So this has told me, this is actually, weirdly enough, this card has come up for Aries and Libra in this same position. So I don't know what is going on, but this is something that Saturn is telling everybody, and Saturn is telling you this too. This card is about harvest and basically after you harvest and everything, the leaves fall and everything regenerates and things start over, and it has the Sagittarius energy in it and the Scorpion energy and this Libra energy. And so with the card having been upside down, this is telling me that everything that was old for you has basically been taken care of, and you're reaping the benefits now, and this is going to be a new season for you. So what's old is out and what's new is in, and what's new that's in is this freedom and this passion and this love going forward. And also in your house, this is in your 3rd house on this chart here of communication. So you have just shed everything that you need to shed. Okay, like shake it off. All right, this is an amazing reading. I am just in awe of this reading. Okay, so now the next one is let's see, April, right? So the 4th month of home and family in April. And what do you have in April? You have Jupiter and you also have Pluto in your 9th house. Okay, so let's see what we get. All right, you have, oh my gosh, Taurus, look at this. With family and with home and emotional security and domestic satisfaction, just all this going back to your heritage and just having a familiar atmosphere around you, and even maybe like a possible like relocation. Something is going on here, but when you are there, you have all of this really amazing communication and clarity, and you have this fixed air, just meaning that you're able to maintain your voice, you're able to maintain consistency, be able to communicate just like a queen, like a champ. I mean, this is an amazing card, especially when it has to do with your 4th house here. And then also, again, because Jupiter and Pluto are conjunct in your 9th house, this also means, again, with the foreign travel. So, you know, I think that maybe your family lives far away and you're going back to visit them. That's just an idea that I'm having. But when you get there, it's almost like this breath of fresh air. So you could be traveling to a place you've been before, but there's just a feeling of rejuvenation. Something has gone completely right for you, and you're just so happy to be there. Oh, that sounds wonderful. That's such a good card. It's amazing. It's so amazing. So amazing. Okay, so now we're on to January, February, March, April, May. We're on to May. And what happens in May? Venus goes in retrograde in May, and also this is your 5th house of creativity. So let's see what message Venus has for you, or because she's in retrograde, what she doesn't have for you, because she's also in your 2nd house, and that's in your earnings, possessions, and money. But then on this wheel, this is your creativity. So they could go hand in hand, the creativity and also the money. So let's see what Venus is saying. Oh my gosh, Taurus, look. You got the Taurus card. It's amazing. It was upside down. So that means to me that if the card was upright, I would say be very cautious to not splurge and that sort of thing. But with this card being upside down for you, I would say that Venus is saying that it's time to think about getting good bargains or something of that nature. Something positive, like you can still acquire wealth, but you have to you have to be cautious about your investments, cautious about things that about opportunities coming your way, whether you should spend time on them or not. And then also you have with the Hierophant, which is this major arcana card, reminding you of tradition, reminding you of your ability to use what you've learned in the past to go forward with your creativity and also with your money. So just if you're getting creative, just be careful is all I'm saying. And then when I said it was, before upside down like this would be telling me that you shouldn't splurge. But in this situation, it's like you don't have anything to splurge at the moment, or you weren't splurging, and that's not a problem for you. But what you do need is a good investment or a good bargain or something like that. So with Venus in retrograde, she's telling you it's a good time to go ahead and make an investment, but the Hierophant does remind you to be very careful with it, okay? And then use your creativity to make some money. All right, that's awesome, Taurus. You're in your element when it comes right now to creativity and money. You're in your element. That's amazing. Okay, so in June, we talk about service, okay? We talk about health and hygiene and self-improvement and that sort of thing, and daily routine and introspection. And do we have anything coming for June? Well, we do have a lunar eclipse that's happening in your 8th. So let's just see what is going on with the service. Okay, now you have cardinal Earth. And guess what, Taurus? You are fixed Earth, and now it's telling you to initiate. Use your innate earthly abilities to initiate. So that is going to be where your, routines and your rituals fall right into line with who you are, with your spirit, and with it also having a lunar eclipse in your eighth house of intimacy. This tells me that you're going to be very good in a relationship at this time in June. You're going to be very intimate. You're going to have this ability to basically start anything that you want in June with a person and be able to bring value to their life, because you have this new avenue opening up with value. So you have this opportunity really to be very intimate with somebody. You may also just feel kind of like you're on top of the world in terms of where you want to be financially, or you have high hopes for good finances, so that makes you feel a lot more open in in relationships. So that's because when you're happy with your life, you're happier in the relationship, right? Okay, so that's an awesome card to get. You've gotten some really good stuff here. And it makes perfect sense considering 2019. So let's take a look at July, which is also going to be your house of partners. And what's happening in July? We have another lunar eclipse in the ninth house. So let's see what that translates to for your partnerships. Okay, so we got upright the Six of Pentacles, and there's some Saturn energy in here too, so that's very interesting. So there may be some leftover lessons that you have in terms of partnerships, and this tells me that this card is basically like a rushing forward card, almost like you need to be careful with a new partner, because there's this lesson here. Maybe not to rush in too quickly. Make sure the person that you're involved with is nurturing, is going to take care of your feelings, because you haven't had that in a while. And you also have this, Six of Pentacles, and that Six of Pentacles means that you need some giving and receiving. You need a person who's going to reciprocate everything that you're willing to give. So that's what you need as a partner, who's going to reciprocate everything that you're willing to give, okay? And that could happen for you in July. All right, so this is looking really, really interesting. Okay, let's look at August. So August is a card that's in your eighth house, again with the intimacy, and now we have the Libra card. Okay, so basically this is telling me in August that there's possibly a stronger love that's going to happen, but this relationship is going to be fair. It's going to be fair, and it's going to be just, which is really, really, really amazing. Okay, so that's what I see for August. And let's go on to September, which is about foreign travel in your ninth house. And you have gotten fixed Earth. Oh my gosh, look at all these Earth cards. Taurus, I am feeling your energy. This is just amazing. Like I'm honestly thinking about just sitting outside, having some cocoa or something, and getting one with the crickets. I don't know, something is going on here. I just feel all this Earth energy, and it's just amazing. And look, you even have the bull here, and you have again the Taurus energy, and then you have this Venus energy. So this tells me on your foreign travels, you're going to probably take either this person that looks like you might have fallen in love with you on a journey, or bring them back from wherever you met them at. Something is going to happen, which is really amazing. I think you're probably even happy to see this, because I don't think last year was this much fun. Okay, so now let's see, we have October coming up, and let's see what we have. Oh, also, you know what I forgot to tell you about September was that Mars was going to be in like retrograde. So also just make sure that before you do this foreign travel, you wrap up everything that you needed to have wrapped up and maybe not start any new projects at the moment. Just hang on to that, okay? Hang on to making sure you clear up everything that you've already started, especially down here with all this creativity. Make sure you stick with it. All right, make sure September you stick with it. Now let's move on to October, which is your career, and let's see what you got. Okay, you've got the Coma card. All right, so this is telling me that also, but though it was upside down, so it's telling me that your sacrifices are going to pay off. I mean, that's pretty simple. With the career, your sacrifices are going to pay off. I mean, there's not much more I have to say about that one, but it is an excellent way to look at this card. Okay, so then in October, then November, what do we have? November, you also have another lunar eclipse. So let's see what's going on. This is your house of friends. It's your house of political hopes and wishes, things like that. So exterior stuff with, you know, social stuff and in your outer circle. So let's see what you got. All right, so you got the Hanged Man, but it's upside down. So in what I would normally say if this was right side up is that, you know, it's a time for you to reflect, and also that you'll be making sacrifices. But again, with this card being upside down, that means that the sacrifices have basically like already been made. And again, this is what this card was telling me, that the sacrifices you have in your career, you've already made them. So you could just sit right up. And then you have this Neptune energy here, basically that it's like a release from bondage, and also a release from like addictions. So maybe while you were doing all this hard work, you might have gotten, you know, addicted to some things like, you know, maybe overeating or drinking a little bit or something of that nature. And now it's time, you know, to shed some of those, to release yourself from that. So this great sacrifice might have, you know, just put you back a little bit, and now you need to get back on track. So that's excellent. It just seems like you worked really hard is what this card is basically telling me. Okay, so now, oh man, if you did all of that work and you have all of your Taurus energy and Earth energy going on, this, I just feel like your year is going to be on fire. And so now with this last card here in December, Saturn is going to return in your 10th house. And that is going to be, again, your career. But this card is also going to be about your hidden resources. So let's just see how December of 2020 pans out for you. Okay, this is the Corvus. Awesome. Whoops, sorry. This is the Corvus card right here, and it's also the Six of Wands. Six of Wands. Okay, so this is basically victory and success is going to be on the way. So you definitely have everything it takes, Taurus, to get through this year and to come out on the other end victorious. And I know this little raven bird looks very ominous, but it's not. It's basically, he's a messenger of good news and goodwill. So just know that this year is going to be amazing for you, Taurus, and all this Taurus energy. I couldn't have seen it coming for you any better than it did. Oh my goodness. So this is great. I'm just like still feeling the energy, so I have to give myself a chance to recuperate here, because I honestly feel just so good about this. Okay, so thank you, Taurus, for hopefully sticking with me through this, and I really appreciate it. And it looks to me like you did find your voice, and this year is going to be amazing. You're going to do some traveling. You're probably going to meet somebody amazing. You're going to put some hard work in, some creativity, and then you're going to come out victorious. And again, also too, in December, it may be time for you to just retreat a little bit and like just say, and maybe you know, stay, close to home for a little while and just reflect on that beautiful year. Make some like beautiful gift cards for people to say, look at, this amazing year that I had. And I really think it's going to be great for you, Taurus. And thank you so much for, coming to the channel. If you like this reading, please like and please subscribe. Please share it with somebody who could use this message. And also, please leave me a comment below to let me know if this resonated with you, and if it doesn't, or if there's any tips that you want to give me, because I did get some tips before to try to speed my videos up just a little bit so that people don't lose attention. But this one is running kind of a little bit long. And the last thing I want to show you, Taurus, is something funny, because someone did ask me what I do with my eye makeup, and I don't profess to be any kind of makeup artist. I just wing it, but I do use this and I know it's kind of funny. It seems just very trite, I guess, in this way, but so basically when I got it, I wasn't doing this channel yet, and I guess it kind of maybe inspired me a little bit, because I got back into all of the stuff that I was doing before, because I did write Venus Unleashed, and I did write the ZodiacLoveCode.com series about 3 years ago, and I still have my readers from there. So if you ever want to check that out, that's there too. But it gave me just this refresher to go on and start doing YouTube and bringing my messages like to the world. So anyways, I do try and stick with the color wheel each time that I do a video for the different signs. However, this time I wore kind of like a little New Year's Eve like get up, and I put on some blue, so it really doesn't match with Taurus, but this is your color right here. This one, it's really cute. It's like a very earthy color. Yeah. Anyways, just a little tidbit of fun. So please visit me in February for your reading, because we're going to find out more about this card, because this one's in February, and see, what the Hermit has in store for you. All right, thank you, and have a good rest of your holidays, and have a good 2020.